Okay, real quick test, just to see how we are. Cool, we are all good. Hello, Toka. Street Limb is crazy. Yeah, I've been doing a bit of struggling lately with trying to make sure that the stream is actually updated. I might have to bump down my output bitrate if I can remember how to do that. Oh, I have to go offline to change it. Hello, Torbeth. Gonna go live in a bit. Sounds good. Torbeth live. The players are fine with SPS. Toka tacking on the request for 18 all the way. Let me get y'all the seed. And Torbeth accepting 18 all the way. First set seed is Foxtrot 7 0043. Mega EP Tetris time. You know what? Sometimes that's when the best Tetris gets played. I'm gonna fiddle a bit. Barbara, thank you for the follow. I'm gonna do a bit of fiddling with the scene, because I saw something that, who was streaming yesterday? Whoever was streaming yesterday, I forget entirely, because my memory's shit, but they had the seed also up on their scene, so I'm gonna do that too. But y'all are ready, so let me get y'all counting down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! The players are off. Toga, a nice tuck on the left. Needing some things over on the right. A square tuck will help. Gets another square tuck. Lumbar will help get things cleared up. Meanwhile, Torbeth, 2 Tetrises now under their belt. Both players ready, setting it very high, but handling it quite well. Tor with another Tetris. Toka yet to score one. Blocks the well right as the lumbar comes. Has the well open with a hole in the stack. Toka, the stack in a much more appealing position, waiting on a lumbar. Interesting horizontal hang of a Z piece there, but getting a J spin tuck to resolve it. Getting the first Tetris after a nice J spin. Up to 45, Torbeth sitting at 151, having taken advantage of Toka's extended dig period. Toka now in a much better position here. Torbeth here with the well open. Toka banking a Tetris and getting a nice T-tuck. 129 playing 229 right now. Both players a little over halfway through 18 right now. .304 currently playing 221. Torbeth, Tetris, Toka, answers. Sorry for the bit of extended delay there in commentating. I was fiddling with getting the scene set up, but I did, against all odds. Far a bit up high here, but a Tetris will bring the stack down. Toka, setting up, gets another one. Tetris for Torbeth up to 423. Toka slamming one down, going to 337. The players at the 100 line mark. We'll be approaching 19 transition here soon. We'll get the first glimpse of how well these players can play in post. Toka sets up, gets a nice Tetris, goes 406. Cuts the lead to 2 Tetrises here. Toka though up to 473. Toka, another Tetris. Torbeth, a bit of an awkward position right now. Has a hole in the stack, but gets it immediately cleared up. Toka sets up, gets a Tetris. Both players have about 2, maybe 3 Tetrises left in the bag, depending on how well they play. Torbeth knocks one down, has one more left. Torbeth transitioning 506. Toka knocks one last Tetris down. Tetris Torbeth going to 531. Toka transitioning 503. Torbeth here, a hole in the stack and with the well covered. As the pieces to get it cleared out, has a horizontal line bar hang, will top at 531. Toka sitting at 537 is good for game number 1 here. Well done. Very well played there. Seed goes up to 07. Or sorry, 08. We are ready to kick it off, game number 2. Countdown in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. The player's off. Torbeth making use of the pieces even though the pieces are not helpful. Toka slamming the first Tetris of the match. Toka eye dependent. Trying to get set up to clear it out, looks like. It's setting up for a dirty Tetris on top of it, and we'll have the pieces for it. We'll get it. Going to 49, Torbeth 38 right now. Toka getting to that eye dependency, getting it plugged. Building around it now, looks like. Torbeth the Tetris. Toka's board back to a very good, clean state. Toka Tetris. 2 quick ones, 105 playing 87 right now. Torbeth with that Tetris going up to 110. close game here between these two players, as was to be expected by their performance in the last game. Tetris Toka goes with the 175. Torvith trying to get the board opened up. J Dependent gets it filled. Keeps the well open, needing a Lombard. Will get it over, up to 163. Toka banking this Tetris, going up to 205. Another quick Tetris here for these two players. Toka and Torvith actually set up for a second. 250 playing 232 right now. Both players halfway done with 18 right now, moving on to the second half of the game. Toka up to 296. Torvith looks like they are a Tetris and a half behind, appears. Perchance. Toka set up high and with a bit of an overhang, but will get a Tetris. Torvith answering, trying to close the gap here, but Toka ever consistent with the Tetrises. Could have set up for a bit of a chorion adjustment there, but they're set up just as clean, probably even better idea. Thanks to Tetris. Torvith, one of their own. 40k still the difference here. Toka extending the lead here. Torvith trying to get the board back clean. Both players approaching the 100 line mark here. Torvith with some ever persistent holes in the stack. We'll get it set up for a row 4 Tetris if a Lombard come. It's still set up. Toka's board falling apart right now. Toka topping out at 435. Torvith, you need 436. Torvith needing 436 to complete this chase down. It's 20 lines until transition is set up for a Tetris. Banks one up to 398. Could potentially get it done before transition if the pieces cooperate. There's 421, LJ dependent. Gets it filled. Lombard needs to come. Torvith, good for game number 2. Completes the chase down. Gets it done before 19, importantly. Well played. GG's. What was a game of 5 something something? Both players are ready for game 3. Let's kick this off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players off. SZO the opener. Toka off to a more rough start than Torvith. Torvith slamming the first Tetris. Toka, though, going to work around it. Adjusts, sets up, commits to the Tetris setup. Setup now for 2, if a Lombard will come. Torbid's board also in a bit of disarray. Lombard not coming for either. Toka early hangs. Toka topping at 7,600. Torbid good for game number 3. That was well, that one we can blame on the seed, I think. That one was a suffer seed. Bad seed moment. Hopefully seed 2A would be a lot more fruitful. I get it, because fruit come from seeds. Anyway. Both players are ready. Let's kick game number 4 off here. Potential first set point here for Tobit. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Both players off. IoT the opener. Torbid slamming first Tetris, but Toka following amp. God, I cannot words right now. I better be able to words. I got 4 more hours of Tetris to play, or to stream. Toka slamming Tetris number 2. Torbid, pieces not coming. Gets the well opened, we'll slam a Tetris. There's a hole in the stack. We'll get it opened. And get it set up for a Tetris. 74 playing 69 right now. Toka, though, banking a Tetris up to 92. Toka wanting to fill in the left as opposed to taking a Tetris. Bold move, considering this drought that is currently occurring. Toka's board falling apart. Perhaps should have taken the Tetris with the long bar. Toka not able to get pieces over. We'll top it at 96. Torbith at 102 is good for game number 4. And we'll take set number 1. I already know what you're thinking. There's the new seed. Let's get rid of that dusty, musty old seed. Set number 2 seed is Bravo 4, Charlie Delta 17. I will go ahead and clear the score. Torbid saying was a bit nervous when they instantly went into deficit after the round 1 loss. That's the fun part of Tetris, is that sometimes the seed can help you out in very unexpected ways. Alternatively, can really hurt you. Both players ready. Let's kick set number 2 off here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players are off. Square JL the opener. Torbid the first Tetris. Toka set up to bank the first Tetris on their side. Torbid able to bank Tetris number 2. Toka not ready when the Lombard came, but will slam one with this. Toka using a Lombard to fill in a J dependency. Toka now with the weight, Torbeth now with weight over the stack. Gets it open. Both players ready now. Torbeth up to 100 off of that Tetris. Toka set up, waiting on a Lombard, and we'll get one. Torbeth up by about a Tetris pace lead here. Tetris Torbeth, but with holes in the stack. Toka Tetris. Gets set up for another Torbeth with a clean burn down to the bottom. Starting the stack over from fresh. Toka a good stack, but is eye dependent on the right. Gets it turned into Tetris readiness. Torbeth slamming a Tetris, Toka needing a Lombard. Lombard comes. 4K the difference here. Toka now with a Tetris. Torbeth needing a Lombard here, or needing to burn or something. Covers it well right as the Lombard comes. Still has a hole in the stack, but is otherwise Tetris ready. Toka Tetris at 243, Torbeth 207. Toka awkward placements on the left, but slams a Tetris, getting the board now resolved. Both players clean boards, clean Tetrises. Torbeth eye dependent will get it filled in cleanly as a hole in the board, keeping them from being Tetris ready. Sets up perfectly around it. Toka 312. Toka 335 now with this Tetris. Torbeth set up at 262. Both players just past halfway in 18 here. Torbeth, Lombard not coming and topping out at 262. Toka good for game number 1 here in set 2. Toka, in case, okay, cool. It's Tetris, and we are good. It's okay, can make comeback like you did. Yeah, totally. It's comeback time. It's always comeback time. Even when you're ahead, it's comeback time. Toka saying, no worries, Torbeth, my brain shut down when they thought about burning. Both players are ready on seed C5. Let's count game number 2 down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, one of the hard things that I'm gonna have to drill into my brain if I'm gonna get better at comp Tetris is I have to start burning. And have to start burning smartly. Torbeth, some good adjustments to get the board back under control. Toka's board. not off to the most cooperative of starts. Torbeth, perhaps a mishang of an L there, but gets the board back under control. Toka slams first Tetris on their side. Torbeth slams Tetris number 2. We're back. We're so back. Everything's fine. Everything's under control. Both players sitting about 50. Torbeth, 2 quick Tetrises. Banks a Tetris for Toka. Toka with a Tetris. Torbeth, some good adjustments to keep the stack under control. Torbeth, perhaps a misrotation there of the J piece. Good S-spin up high. Has the pieces to keep the stack from falling apart. This is tense to even watch. Torbeth hanging a long bar on the left, and we'll top at 104. Toka sitting at 124 is good for game number 2 there. I really hope you heard that and that I'm not just talking through an ad break. Toka though, good for game number 2. The ad break, at least for me, ends in 7 seconds. I have no idea if y'all, through any of the last minute 30 have heard me. Okay, it's so over. Nice. Alright, we are good for game number 3 here. Potential set point for Toka. Torbeth on the verge of a reverse sweep. Let's count game number 3 down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Both players off. Tor with the first Tetris. Toka, one of their own. The players not getting the pieces that they want, but making good work out of them. Both players up to 2 Tetrises now. Toka able to get a third. Torbeth in a pretty nasty dig situation. Marts, what's up? Hello, welcome to the stream. You are potentially catching the last game here of set number 2 here between Toka and Torbeth, as Torbeth slams the Tetris, going up to 82. Toka sitting at 93, waiting on a long bar. Will get it, both players knocking a Tetris. No player really with a pace lead here, as it were. Well, I take that back. I'm dumb. Toka has the obvious pace lead here. Don't worry. I get my practice being wrong in TNP streams, so that when I eventually work my way up to commentating other bigger streams, whenever that happens, I don't make these mistakes. I can tell L's from Z's and J's from S's. Start with a misshift there of an L. We'll bring the stack down though. Team of Weight currently playing 157. Toka though knocking a Tetris, going to 231. Tor with I dependent, but we'll get it filled with an S. Toka getting the right side open. having to close it once again. 2 Lombars, 3 Lombars come. Token eating a J. Getting good pieces now. Able to get the stack under control. Torbeth 195 right now. Toka getting the well open will slam a Tetris going to 276. Torbeth also a Tetris. Toka banking a victory lap of a Tetris for bringing the stack down. Both players just past halfway here in 18. Torbeth the Tetris. Toka stack. Bit calamitous. Tetris Torbeth 273. Toka sitting at 300,000 right now. Still has the pace lead, but needs to get the stack under control before transition. Torbeth closing the gap to 10,000 points. Toka Tetris going up to 330. Mart saying, Toka's so strong, so quick. Toka's scary. Toka Tetris ready. Has a good stack, but needs to keep it maintained. Lombard needs to come now. Torbeth getting the stack open just in time. So is Toka. Toka's still about a 15k lead, but players 20 lines to go. Didn't want that J shift, or sorry, that L tuck. See, I'm getting it. I'm learning. I gotta make my mistakes first. Torbeth back to a clean board. Toka's still doing work here. Still just has that Mino of garbage in column 6, just daunting. That's what I've been around it. Gets set up for a a row 3 Tetris. Torbeth set up high here. Tetris Toka, 399. The players 10 lines left until transition. Toka 400,000. Torbeth 367. Toka back down to a fresh board. Torbeth 1 line left, will have to go into transition burning. Toka set up for one last Tetris. Torbeth over 377 with a T-spin. Toka over at 428 with a Tetris. Torbeth a bit of a diving board, and we'll top at 380. Toka good for game number 3 and for the set. Just needed to survive that game, and did. Well done. Torbeth, commiserations, but you also played very well. Torbeth offline. Marts, if you are here and if Lipton is ready, I can be ready in about 2 minutes. But of course, if you want like the warm-up time until 19 UTC, I completely understand. We've got Marts in here. Let me give you set up a bit of an adjusted. Lipton's here. Hello. Hello, Lipton. Lipton, you're a part of that fourth person pronoun called chat. You're a part of my chat. You're my fourth person pronoun. Throwing the all-important question into chat. Whoa, okay. What a seed. Seed starting. Tri-Delta. 1 Foxtrot 1. You don't see that every day. Do I want to restream this Friday at 18? Let me... what is 18? This Friday I'm already taken. I'm dearly apologetic. I have Toka v Tamello at 18 my time. Or I guess 18 every time. Why can't I play both of your streams at once? Yeah, Marts will have first level select here. Yeah, my apologies. I am gonna have to opt for the no there. I have to be more cautious with my stream intake a day. Though, I mean, the more I stream, the more money I get from ad revenue. Marts, you're literally not. Where do we currently stand in very large? Marts still 104 wins, 104 losses. So this is one of the final chances for Marts to stay above 500. Alright, Lipton saying 18. Under assumption that it's 18 all the way, though feel free to change up at any time. I'll remind y'all with level select if you do want to change up. Both players ready, let's kick game number 1 off here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Give me a sec to get a bit more adjustments made. Lipton started on level 8. Lipton, please restart and start on 18 if you would. Martz, you are good to keep playing. We are all set now. Both players are off. T double L the opener. Lipton, first Tetris on their side, scored. Lipton, 2 Tetrises on the board. We are out and running. Martz currently has 4 on the board, knocks down the 5th. Lipton knocking another down, having a hole in the stack though. Might be wanting to open it up. Martz getting the board under a bit of control. Lipton and Tetris, and some good adjustments here. 97 playing 166 here. Martz though 10 lines ahead in time relative to Lipton, so Lipton still has a good amount of runway of distance to make up. Has the time to close the gap. Needs to turn on the Tetris boosters though. Martz, an ad on your side. I'm gonna assume that Martz is gonna stay alive for the next 15 seconds while I am swamped by a detergent ad. A detergent ad on my desktop and a Intuit TurboTax ad on my MacBook. Now I'm getting the, what is that? What ad is that on my desktop? It is a What a Wings ad. Interesting. Martz 224, Lipton 152 here as we are back from an ad break. Could I take Ethan versus Brett? I sure could. Can do. Gonna quickly throw that in here. Martz another Tetris up to 299. Lipton Tetris ready and woke up 205. About 100,000 difference here, but Lipton still 10 line behind in pace. Both players set up. Lipton banging a Tetris 235. Martz waiting patiently on the lumbar and burned a bit too much. Lipton some fatal almost fatal misshifts. It has the stack low and can work around it. I don't wanna call it too early. They are still working around this and still managing it fine. Actually has it set up for a Tetris right now. Martz's stack also getting a bit uncomfortable right now. Lipton, oh, if they had just set the J flat, they could have got the Tetris there. Lipton getting an I filled in. Martz having to plug up 2 I dependencies. Getting the Z all the way over to the right, but Martz's board not any more comfortable. Lipton Tetris 304 right now, both players closing in on transition right now. Martz about 15 lines away, Lipton 25 lines, still has the virtue of being behind in time. Martz not able to get the piece over. 376 is your chase down, Lipton. 376. has 22 lines until transition. Perhaps getting a bit greedy in their setups here. Gets a I dependency filled in. Trying to get set up for a Tetris is set up here. Needing pieces for the left. Getting a Lombard over to the right. Tetris going to 341. Needs another Tetris right now. Believe that was a triple, could have been a double. Sitting at 350. 25k the difference here. Will need to make it up in post. Taking a split triple, going to transition at 356. Cannot get pieces over, and Mart's taking game number 1. Very close game. Very well played. Give me 1 sec, sorry. Both players are ready on EE. Let's kick game at number 2 off here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players off. Left in a hole in the stack in row 4. Martin slamming Tetris number 1. Lipton's board getting up high in a very early top out at 760 points. Mart's good for game number 2. It happens. Mart's has the level select for game 3. Could be wanting to stick with 18. Alright, ready for 18 starts here on FF. Let's kick game 3 off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players off, IOI the opener. Lipton the first Tetris. Martin's banking one of his own. Lipton needing this game to stay alive in the first set and hopefully force a reverse decider game 5. Though, currently focusing on game number 3 here. Tetris for Mart's. Both players building this stack out and are ready. Mart's nailing a Tetris. Lipton following suit. Lipton with a 2-line lead right now. Mart's, though, taking a quick points lead. Both players exchanging the real-time lead. Though, time will tell how the stacks will diverge. Lipton taking a triple to get back down to fill in these holes in row 1. Mart's banking another triple up to 124. Lipton sitting at 112 right now. Tetris for Martz up to 169. Another quick one as Lipton still going to work on this stack. Could be setting up for column 4 Tetris here. Switches it over, trying to fill in the holes that have appeared in the stack. It's a bit of dig work right now, but neither player necessarily in trouble. Lipton getting good pieces to bring the stack back. Lipton, nice tucks here, keeping the stack very well maintained. Tetris for Lipton will go up to 165. Martz up to 261 right here. 100, 1,000 the difference here. Both sitting at the exact halfway mark of 18. Four and a half to 5 Tetris is the difference here. Lipton though, able to bank 1. Will quickly get set up and bank another. 1 Tetris the difference here as Martz banking Tetris of his own. Lipton stack in need of some Lombards. This rotation of a T will do it. Lipton topping at 235. Martz is good for game number 3 and set number 1. Let me fetch a new seed for y'all for this second set. Second set seed starting with 2-5, Charlie Foxtrot, Foxtrot Echo. Lipton with a Igualamente. 352nd opponent in official matches. That is insane. It's weird that this is the first time that you've played them. 5. Lipton does have level select here. Nice. Still 18. Both players are ready. Let's kick set number 2 off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players off JIJ, the opener. Lipton, Tetris number 1 of the match. Martz opening with 5 not Tetrises, otherwise known as lines. Lipton up to 2 Tetris under the belt. Martz set up though for a column 8 Tetris. 4 goes it to fill out the left side. Don't know if Martz saw that he was ready, but is still ready again. Square would have been helpful there. Lombard would be very helpful. Lipton, a Tetris 5 rows high. Martz, column 8 Tetris. Both players' stacks in bad need of construction right now. 77, 78 now for Lipton, 40 for Martz. Martz bringing the stack back down to Earth. Lipton amino shy from a column 8 Tetris again, instead decides to go for a pretty seamless wall transfer despite the hole in the stack in row 2. Oh, good work unearthing that. Mart's also trying to access a curmudgeon-y double hole in the stack. Lipton's board back to state of cleanliness. It's set up and will nail a Tetris. Lipton up to 117. Mart's with this Tetris going up to 74. Lipton taking some skims to keep Tetris ready, and we'll go to 142. Mart's J dependent, I dependent. We'll get it filled in and we'll get the stack under control. Couldn't get the well open as a lumbar came though. Lipton some good tucks. Mart's a lumbar going up to 109. Lipton able to get a lumbar over despite a spire growing in the middle. Going up to 160, 189 now off of 2 quick Tetrises. Mart's double lumbar dependent. Ruh-roh, Shaggy. Mart's though dealing with it quite nicely, keeping one open, trying to cleanly get to the second one. Has to cover it, but will get it hopefully cleaned out pretty nicely. Another lumbar will help, and we'll get the dirty Tetris. Mart's up to 139, Lipton 219 here. Currently enjoying a 3 or so Tetris lead here over Mart's. Mart's trying to bring the stack back, can get it under a bit of control as lumbar dependent, has to plug it in with a Z. Mart's now having to rely on lightning quick reflexes, still able to get pieces over. If Mart's can do anything, Mart's can survive. Uncovers the I dependency, plugs it back in with another Z. Mart's, buddy. Cannot get the square over to the right, and we'll top at 157. Lipton at 320 is good for game number 2. Good for game number 1 here in set number 2. Aha, that's what I meant. Both players good. Let's count down game number 2 here in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Shout out to Mart's rocking the CTWC t-shirt. Lipton Tetris number 1 of the match. Mart's foregoing getting it set up. Rather, foregoes getting it to fill out the left. Knocks Tetris number 1 on their side. Hello, Snowy. Snowy, I'm very upset. It's literally 5 degrees here and it's not snowing because it's not rainy. Lipton and Tetris going up to 50. Mart's up to 55. Shout out to the weather patterns of the southeastern United States. I love it so much. Lipton a misshift of a J there. Split triple there with a long bar. Needs 2 quick long bars. Able to get some good tucks, able to keep the left well open as the pieces get pieces over. Not getting a lumbar on top at 61. Mart's at 83 is good for game number 2. Mart's holding on just a little bit longer. Do you actually have 43 Tetris shirts? You are a world traveler. I feel like, so you know how professional athletes, specifically basketball players, will trade jerseys after a game? I feel like Mart's does that with Tetris merch. Sky just got a new PB, I believe. Hell yeah. Let me count y'all down for game number 3 here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It was either Sky or Winter. What was Winter's previous PB? Oh, come on. Sorry, I'm distracted. Mart's getting a Tetris, Lipton also having gotten a Tetris. Can keep the board nicely set up for another, but has a hole in row number 1. Okay, so it was either Sky or Winter. I actually have no idea. Because Sky said, was gonna wait for Winter to post her PB, but got impatient. It was Sky? Okay, nice. Just as nice as that Tetris from Lipton there. Martin's following up. Both players hovering about 70, 80,000 right now. Somewhere in that general range. Martin's though, banking another Tetris. A Tetris lead for Mart's here in pace. I almost PB'd yesterday. Thank you, Snowy. Thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, people can finally send bits now. Send your bits. Give me your money. I'm affiliate now. The players a bit up high, but with really good will belt stacks. Mart's needing a lumbar. Will get one over. Now has to deal with the hole in currently row 3. Lipton also needing a lumbar. Miss hangs a J. Lipton not able to get pieces over him on top at 111. Mart's taking this to a game 5 decider here. But I was talking about, but let me continue my tangent after I kick these players off. Mart's, thank you for the 321 bits. We have a hype train. Whoa, hello. If I would stop streaming for 6 hours, yeah, maybe. But both players ready on 5-8. Let me get y'all counted down. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. No, I was going to mention, I almost PB'd in comp yesterday. Yeah, I'm sorry, 3 ads. I know, my ad schedule is so messed up. I need to fix it, but I keep forgetting to. I also have run out of skip the ads. Lived in a couple of awkward overhangs here, but has room to work around them. Is up to the next box height, but is manageable. Marts also up high. Lipton, having gotten a couple more lines ahead of time, will take game number 4. I should just stop talking about things and just let y'all play Tetris. Maybe then y'all can play Tetris. Lipton, though, having taken it to a Game 5 decider round. Crack open if you got it. That's right, it's a 6-9 seed. Hey now. 6-9 seed in a decider? Well, what is it, my birthday? Both players are ready. Let's kick game number 5 here off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Yes, that was a slow 3 count. I know I could have counted a 5 count. I'm gonna let Sky have something and be original. Both players are off. Looked at a couple early burns. I had a pendant. We'll get it filled in. We'll get another one over to bank the first Tetris of the round. Mart's also taking long bar number 2 to get Tetris number 1. Lipton getting another long bar, getting another Tetris. Both players trying not to let the other one even get a chance at taking the lead. Lipton 96, Mart's 57. As much as Tetris is a game of score the most points, it's also a outlast your opponent game. Lipton set up for a dirty Tetris and we'll get it. 123. Mart's up to 106. Mart's set up. Mart's keeping the stack in order as the lumbar takes its time to get there. Mart's taking real-time points lead away from Lipton. Lipton, unfavorable sequence of pieces. Able to get a lumbar over for a Tetris. Needs to go to work on the stack right now. $152, currently playing 159. Lipton topping 154. Mart's at 182 is good for this decider game 5. And we'll take sets 1 and set 2. Very well played. Lipton, commiserations, but also very well played on your part. Oh, we missed the train. That's okay, Thank you, Marts. I'm glad to have restreamed one of the final matches in your very large career. Let me, speaking of very large, get that reported. Alright, let me get y'all set up. Let me check PBs real quick. Alright, Ethan has first level select. Cool. This is for bronze 33. Ethan 66. 540. Let me double check bronze. I think it's 12, 15, and 18. Yeah, bronze is 12, 15, 18. 18 is vetoable. Snowy back to work. Oh, bye, Snowy. Back to the hell of work. Ethan, I absolutely love that your picture is Tim Allen in his masterpiece of a role as Tim the Toolman Taylor in a classic 90s sitcom Home Improvement. I think I might make that one of the channel awards is the Tim the Toolman Taylor grunt. Tim the Wobber rating with a party of 4. Hello. Welcome in. You are just about to catch Ethan going up against Brian the One. Hello, suds. Hello, Bubble. Let me get my scene all cleaned off. I really want to readjust my scene and get it set up how Martz has it set up for friendlies, because that is a masterpiece of a scene. I'm jealous. That took some work. Give me one more quick second to get set up on my side. Ooh, I'm gonna have to do some work on Brian's side. Give me 1 second. Don't worry, I'm a master at fixing these kind of things. I'm so good, I'm so quick. I have to do them so often because sometimes people, even if they're on stencil, can still be a bit out of whack. You don't have a camera, but we're just gonna say powered by StreamYard. That is where the seed would be. But right now, you're just playing Tetris. By the way, players, while I'm getting this set up, are we down for SPS? Are we same piecing up in here? Ethan saying yes, please, for SPS. Brian also wanting a seed. There you go. This is Bronze 33. Yeah, it is. I'm just too lazy to change the stream title away from the fact that this is my very large super show. But I will report this when I report it for Bronze 33. So Ethan has higher level select. We'll get to pick first here. Level options for Bronze 33 are 12, 15, and 18, and 18 is vetoable. Ethan going with 12 first. We'll call this 1930. Alright, Brian ready. Both players are set up for a 12 start here. Take a quick pause to see if Brian is going to respond to the stencil comment. the layout is good on my end. I altered it a little bit, so if we can't get on stencils, that is completely fine by me. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, I got the layout adjusted on my end, so we are all good and ready to kick off game number 1 here. Let's count down in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It'll unfortunately mean I have to readjust the setup afterward, but I don't mind doing that. Both players are off here. Ethan slamming the first Tetris of this level 12 start. Some last minute quick adjustments that shouldn't affect the players too much. Ethan, 2 Tetris on the board right now. Brian getting Tetris number 2 on the board. Brian up high here, needing a long bar, covering the well as a long bar comes. Ethan also up high, but getting long bar over for a Tetris. Brian also getting long bar over 48, playing 81 right now. Ethan getting a Tetris. Ethan also filling in that J dependency. Brian also getting these dependencies filled in. Able to get a long bar over. Goes to 79. Ethan up to 114 now. Brian set up with that long bar. Ethan getting that right well open. Ethan good burns here. Brian Tetris up to 110. Ethan up to 134 right now. Ethan farther ahead in time relative to Brian by virtue of pushing down, is about 3 Tetrises in time ahead. So Brian, despite being down in points, ahead in pace. Brian just taking their time getting the board set up. Ethan, though, able to slam down 2 quick Tetrises to bring their stack down. Brian waiting to get rewarded with these Tetrises soon. Lumbar comes. Both players taking advantages of Lombars, making Tetrises. Ethan over halfway through 12 now, approaching the 3/4 mark. Brian just over halfway through 12 right now. 25k the real-time difference, but again, Brian 20 lines ahead, behind in time right now. Brian covering up the well as a long bar comes. We'll now put some extra weight on the well to have to burn out of it. Ethan, 226 right now. Banking quick Tetrises. Brian patiently getting the well open. Good adjustments there to fluff out the left-sided stack. Interesting placement of an L vertical, but we'll get a Tetris off of it. Ethan trying to get Tetris ready, but has to fill in an I dependency. Has to fill in a J dependency with the Lombard. Ethan over to 15 speeds at 263. Brian sitting at 204 and is set up for a row 3 Dirty Tetris. Gets it, goes at 219. 3/4 of the way through 12 is Brian. Ethan on to 14. Extends the time difference to 30 lines. Ethan, though, up to 317, taking a real-time points lead here. Ethan, a couple interesting positions. Hi, Winter. Hello. Ethan, getting awkward here, is on 15. Brian also with some choppy placements. Ethan. So that was you that got the new PB. It wasn't Sky. Nice. Ethan on to 18 speeds at 349. Brian sitting at 232, but has nearly 50 lines of runway relative to Ethan to work with. Oh, cool, we both got one. Nice. Congrats. GG's. PBs are apparently in the air, so I just have to play Tetris today and we'll hope to get a PB. Ethan set up for a Tetris, needing a Lombard. On to 18 here, 10 lines away from 19. Ethan, one more Tetris in the bag, needing a Lombard. Brian also getting a Tetris. Ethan over 19 at 464. So I just have to play a game today. Okay. I'll give it the shot. Y'all have convinced me. I wasn't gonna play Tetris today after streaming so much, but hey, I guess I have to now. Brian committing to a center well here. Needs a Lombard here. No place for those squares. Brian's board getting choppy without a Lombard, but we'll get three quick Lombards to help bring down the stack. Ethan's board getting out of control and will top at 44. Brian, you need 200,000 points to chase this down. I wish you nothing but luck in this endeavor of a chase down. Brian transitioning about 289, 288. Brian can find solace in the fact that speed will not change again for 16 more lines. But up to that point, will not change again for 90 or so more lines. It's either 90 or 100, I actually don't know the number. Brian, though, not able to complete the chase down, will top at 302. Ethan getting the first game. Brian with level select. Brian going 15. Kicking it up a notch. Brian a roller. Brian an amateur roller. Shout out to the amateurs though. I'm an amateur in a lot of respects. I'm not an amateur at counting down from 3 though. Let's get this kicked off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We are off here. Brian, Ethan going for pushdown points. Has amassed 73 of them so far. Brian, though, with a line, has taken a slight lead. Ethan, though, able to bank a Tetris. I need to fix my posture. I sit like I'm slammed over. What do you mean? Ethan, that is Ethan's webcam. Didn't you know? Ethan and high up for a Tetris at 63. Brian sitting at 9,000, but will slam down there. First Tetris going up to 29. Ethan, with the boosters on this game, is at 104. Brian trying to get ready for the second Tetris. We'll get the well open and we'll bank it. Brian, Ethan, those quick L burns, getting the right setup, but now a bit of an overhang situation. But players knocking down Tetrises though. Ethan currently matching and doubling Brian's score, but is quickly gaining a gap here in time. Currently sitting 13 lines ahead from Ethan. Couldn't get the L piece shifted over. Awkward placements of the J's over that I dependency. Double I dependent now, has to plug one. Gets the other filled. Ethan up high. Ethan sitting 153. Fills in one lumbar dependency. Brian attaches up to 106. Ethan in a predicament. Still up high. Can't get the lumbar all the way over. Has to bring the stack down. Can't get the lumbar all the way over to the left, and we'll top at 166. Brian, your chase is 166. Currently sitting 111. We'll be able to bank a Tetris going up to 130. Whoa, the bar was what? Brian, set it for a Tetris. Needing a lumbar, needing it now. Cannot afford to wait. able to sit the lumbar over up to 149, banking 2 quick Tetrises, and will make up the difference. Brian, good for game number 2 here. Both players a game under their belt. Yeah, sorry, I turning off Ad Manager during the stream is a hassle, and I ran out of. They give you an option to snooze the ads. I ran out of those. But very good chase down, nonetheless, despite the not knowing. Ethan picking 12 here for seed F8. Both players ready. Let's kick off. You're good. You're good. Kick off game number 3 here in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Both players off. Ethan with an early J misplacement. Well, maybe not misplacement, more like awkward placement. Brian taking things slow and steady, trying to be the hare in the Aesop fable. Ethan slamming Tetris number 1 of the match. Brian mega up high here. Next box height needs a lumbar. We'll be able to get it over and bank Tetris number 1 on their side. Ethan up to 51 right now. Brian 18. $53 playing 35 right now. Never mind my voice cracking. Ethan with the right side open. Brian also getting the right open. Ethan aspire. Past next box height, has to work around it. We'll be able to get the lumbar over and around it, going up to 74. Brian also a Tetris, up to 56. Ethan taking good care of that mega spire, trying to get into a simple slope. Brian, good stacking, but up high here, needs to either bank a Tetris or burn a little bit. Has some good burns set up. Keeping the stack very alive. Ethan set up for a center wall Tetris. Brian banking 1 on the right. Ethan up to 114. Brian another Tetris up to 90. Ethan maintaining the distance and pace here. Set up for another dirty Tetris and will bank it. Currently sitting 15 lines ahead of Brian in pace here. Sticking with that center wall setup. Brian a right wall Tetris, Ethan a left of center wall Tetris. Has to potentially finally abandon the idea. Gets a ball transferred back over the right. 153 Ethan, 123 Brian right now. Ethan getting a Tetris. Brian, a very well set up board, but needing to get something happening here. Has a long bar. We'll go to 140. Ethan currently sitting 185. Ethan about 15 lines away from the first level transition here. Brian at the 2/3 mark here in 12. Ethan about to hit 15 speeds. Ethan not able to use a lumbar as it comes for a Tetris, but will transition over into 15 speeds at 251. Brian still nearly 30 lines away from that transition mark. It only sits less than 100k away. Ethan misshiftment there. Brian, a good sequence of pieces to get the board under control. Ethan up to 273 here onto level 14. Brian, a Tetris onto 196 here. We'll bank another fast one. Ethan having to do some awkward piece accommodations here, but still a fairly neutral stack. Now getting a bit out of hand. Onto level 15 is about to hit the next of the speed transitions onto 18 speeds. Brian 5 lines away from reaching the 15 speed transition. Ethan over at 318. 90k the difference, still about 30 lines difference. It's 8 Tetrises. Brian could potentially make up this gap. Is not necessarily behind here. Ethan's board, bit out of control, can just barely get the long bar over. Cannot get a bar hung over to the left, and we'll top at 339. Brian, your chase is 339. Currently sitting at 249 on level 13. Set up for a Tetris. Good adjustments there. Flinging pieces over to the left. Getting a Lombard to the right will go to 267 on level 14. Setup gets another Tetris. About 50k the difference. Good single burn there by Brian. Set up for another Tetris. 10 lines away for another speed transition here onto 18 speeds. Setup needing a lumbar. Has a really good sequence of pieces. Up to 325. One more Tetris the difference. Gets set up. 3 lines until transition. No place for the square. And will complete the chase down. Technically 1 line before transition, but will transition over at 348. Brian, good for game number 3 here. It's free to play this out if they want. Has the 90 line, or the 20 more lines until 19 and then the 90 lines after. is 200k from a PB, so not impossible. Take a split triple, set it for a Tetris. Transitions at 392. Nice setup there. Good extended burn. Up to 400k right now, 140 until a PB. Banks a centerable Tetris. And will not get pieces, but probably will just top out anyway at 444. Is good for game 3 regardless, though. GG's and well played. Ethan absolutely on fire, says Ethan. Brian does have level select, 12, 15, and 18. 18 vetoable. Sticking with 12. Ethan ready on 12, Brian ready. Alright, let's kick game 4 off here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players are off, Ethan with Tetris number 1 under their belt. Brian up high has yet to score a Tetris. Getting a Lombard. Brian nailing Tetris number 1 on their side. As the stack set up to bank Tetris number 2. 37 playing 31 right now. Brian not getting the L tucked in. Brian opting not to burn here, instead getting set up for a very high, very dirty Tetris. Lombard not coming in that very thin window of time needed. 2 Lombards though coming, able to get them both set up. Brian staying alive here, able to get pieces over to the left still. Ethan a bit of blockage of the holes in the stack. Brian set up, covering the well right as the Lombard appears. Taking a triple, potentially just going to burn the stack back down. Ethan slamming a Tetris down, going up to 91. Brian sitting at 45 right now. Ethan now 107, but player's not off too their most ideal start, but of course, it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. Brian banking a Tetris up to 61 right now. Ethan, with his Tetris going up to 123. Brian able to bank another Tetris. Brian needing this game to take the first set. Ethan trying to take this to a Game 5 decider round. Ethan now I-dependent in the center. Brian slamming a Tetris. Ethan getting the garbage taken care of. Fills in one Lombard dependency. It's the second one open for a dirty Tetris up to 145. Brian ready for a Lombard Tetris. Sitting at 94, sets up a J dependency on the right, but will bank the Tetris. Fills in that dependency, gets the stack built out. Ethan to Tetris up to 164, Brian up to 127 right now. Ethan about 3/4 done with 12, Brian just over halfway done with the current level. Brian slamming a Tetris, 143, Ethan up to 181. Winter wishing they could dropkick annoying children in the eyes of society. Some might argue, fuck it, just do it. Some, however, might argue, no, it would hurt the children. Ethan attaches up to 214, approaching the first of the level transitions. Good adjustment for the square. Brian up to 163. Winter admonishing the dirty Tetris setup that Ethan had that didn't go for. Ethan nevertheless up to 246 on 215 speeds. Brian still a whole quarter of the level to go until reaching that mark. 100k the difference. Brian, though, ahead in pace relative to Ethan and can get this cleaned up. Wow, Winner, you did not spell that correctly. Both players seeing the Lombard, getting the Tetris. Yeah, no, I wish that I could read the board fast like that. Hopefully, after today, I won't be a 350 player, I'll be a 400 player. Sorry, I should have muted myself there. Ethan banging the Tetris and resolving a Lombard dependency. 327 playing 220 right now. Brian just about to reach the 15 speed transition point. Ethan an entire 3 levels the difference here. Ethan set up high, but getting a Tetris up to 353. Brian over to 15 speeds at around 220. Trying to get the board back under control. Is very comfortable playing on 15, but cannot let off the gas right now. Set up for a dirty Tetris. Needing the Lombard for it. Can position the pieces pretty nicely. Ethan 417. Winter, you're too kind. I appreciate the offer. Brian, dirty attaches up to 251. Ethan trying to get the right wall open at 442. Good tucks here by Brian. Square over to the left will help. Ethan transitioning over to 19 at 446. Ethan topping out. Cost 2 cents. Brian filling an high dependency, cannot get pieces over and will top at 255. Ethan, good for game 4. Ethan, yeah, that 19 setup was left a lot to be desired there, but was able to amass points before 19. You know what that means. We are at match point, decider round. All good, Brian. Take time if you need it. Football sleep, yeah. I need to, definitely after this, I'll need to get up and do some serious stretching. I've been sitting and streaming for 2 hours 30 now. Ethan. Ethan saying, alright, welcome folks, welcome back to Sudden Death. I'll be choosing 12 in honor of their favorite drink, Pepto-Bismol. Thank you, Abaro. Who I at least heard that quote from first. Meanwhile, Brian needs to get the foot under control as we head into the final match. Yeah. Let's count down game number 5 here. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. That's right, I did that iambically on y'all. How's it feel? Ethan off to the races, has amassed 60 pushdown points so far. Takes a 100-point lead over Brian. What? Where is this lumbar at? Oh, there it was. Ethan, not able to knock a Tetris down quite yet. He's covered the world twice now. Up high. Ethan now, up high, still has to get the well covered. 67, currently playing 36. And that's hundreds, not thousands, don't get it twisted. Ethan, though, the first Tetris, Brian answering with Tetris number 1 on their side. Ethan, that was choppy. That was close. But, made it work. Currently sits at 39. Winter saying, thank you for burning, Ethan. That wasn't burning, that was just persistence until they just somehow found the lumbar. Ethan, though, able to get some quick Tetrises, sitting at 71. Brian, 36, trying to get the board under control. Wow, whatever, I said under control again. Haha, I said the thing. I have like 5 things that I can say when I'm on stream. Because it's as much as my little gerbil brain will retain. I have a script and I follow it. Because I'm unoriginal. Brian putting weight over the well, that will be 4 lines of burning. Thank you, Winter. They're catchphrases. Ethan, misplacement there of a Z piece. No, that was an S piece. I got a chart here in front of me, so I can tell what's what. This is ADHD paradise. I got charts set up in front of me. I got my favorite catchphrases in like a Rolodex that I can choose from. Ethan slamming a Tetris up to a 100,000 point lead over Brian. Ethan, though, floating between 20 and 25 lines in the future. Ethan, a choppy board set up high. Ethan, if this were B-type, you'd be winning. This, unfortunately, A-type. Brian attaches up to 79. Ethan able to get Lombars over to the right to help uncover the holes in the stack. Brian slowly but surely getting Tetris's. Currently sits at 97. Closes the gap to about 60k. Brian, split triple here. Interesting setups here by Brian. Stuck two Lombars right in the middle of the board. Able to get one over to the right though. 118 Brian, 177 Ethan, making a quick Tetris though. Two of them, as a matter of fact, over into 15 speeds at 209. 90k the difference, but still 35 lines ahead. Tetris Ethan. Ethan getting blitzed right now by L's and J's. Not the time. Brian still able to move pieces around. Perhaps didn't see the L dependency over on the right. Ethan another Tetris up to 255. Brian 123, 131 right now. Gets the junk in the stack uncovered. Brings the stack down. Able to do surgery on the stack at a much more comfortable height, but it's no longer surgery time. It's time to turn on the boosters. Ethan hanging a T vertically. Still able to get the lumbar over to the left. Ethan now getting dicey. Eye dependent, and we'll top at 318. Brian, you need 318. Currently sitting at 142. Ethan's DAS has left the chat. Sorry for ad break. I can't snooze it, I'm sorry. Brian, keep playing if you hear me. As the pieces to help get the stack under control, forms the spire though. Has to work around it. Square will help. Double I. Banks a Tetris. 167, 14 lines away from transition. Ryan about to hit 18 speeds here at 173. Since I have an eye dependency in the center, might be wanting to build a well around it. I'm being shy, but we'll take the triple over at 18 speeds at 180. Good setups there by a constant stream of L's and J's. Currently sitting 187, needs 318. That is 111k, I think, close to that. 110, 120. Goes to 208. Setup, we'll get a Tetris going to 233. 10 lines, 19 transition right now. Setup for another Tetris. Good chorion setup, we'll get the Tetris. 2 more in the bag. Setup for 1. We'll nail it. We'll have to burn into 19 at 280. 30k the difference here. Needs 318, currently 282. From here though, the speed not changing until 29. Misshifts and will not be able to complete it. Ethan, good for set number 1. Takes the game 5 decider. Brian though, very well played. That was an impressive chase down, even if it wasn't completed. Let me get the board clear and get y'all a seed for set number 2. Started with 3 Echo, Bravo 273. Ethan saying, I do the angry Harry Hong max out with t-shirt thumb strapped. I think I know what you're talking about. Those words mean something to me. I know how Harry Hong taps. I think he does the special thing where he does like the second knuckle, the weird second knuckle thing. There's a whole documentary? Jesus, I'm behind. There needs to be like a... Game Scout needs to set up like a history of Tetris YouTube playlist that people can go watch, since so many new people are getting into the community. Brian also has level select for set 2. That's fair. Brian picking 15 to start. Both players good. Let's kick game number 1 of set 2 off in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I'm gonna try altered setup here. Unfortunately, I'm not Vandy and I don't have a standing desk, but I can just stand at my desk. Means my screen is lower, and I do have to stand a bit further away from my mic, but we're gonna make it work in the name of blood flow. Ethan, the first Tetris of the match. Brian getting Tetris number 1 on their side with a much cleaner stack. Could have gotten set up for Tetris there. We'll burn the stack down and take the triple. Ethan here also trying to get the stack under control. Double from Brian, trying to get the ball transferred back over to the right. Ethan, a dirty Tetris. No, that wasn't a dirty Tetris. It was a left wall Tetris. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm washed up. Ethan, 50,000. Brian sitting 28. Brian, though, banking a Tetris. Ethan answering. Ethan set up, but covering the well. Brian scored, close to being back under control. Ethan's board, also close, but also is higher. Just like everyone's favorite Creed song, which I would sing if it did get me copyrighted. But you know the one. Ethan high dependent, getting it filled. Ethan just barely getting a long bar over to the left. Bit of a Corian setup there with a T and an I. Brian set up for a dirty Tetris. 95 playing 102 here. Ethan a triple. Trying to get the stack. Brought down. That'll be 4 lands of burn from Ethan. Ethan now set up and waiting. Brian trying to give the stack some TLC. Ethan, a Tetris going to 134. Brian 101 right now. Ethan over halfway done at the 2/3 mark. Brian exactly halfway done with 15. Ethan set up for a Tetris. Brian also set up now. Ethan up high. Getting good setups to keep the wall open and can get the long bar over, going to 174. Brian getting the well uncovered and his Tetris ready. Will knock one down, go to 131. Ethan setting 212. 90k the difference, but Ethan also, what is that, 3 Tetrises ahead in time? Potentially 4, depending on how you count. And if you can count, which I certainly can't. Ethan here's some interesting LJ setups. Brian blocking an I dependency. Has some weight over it that they'll have to shed off. Brian topping out at 135. Ethan at 219 is good for game number 1 of the set. GG's and well played. Ethan, in case you didn't hear me or just wanted to play it out till 19, you are good. Wouldn't call this PB pace, but another Tetris will do you in. S tug there. We'll top at 257. GG's. Good game, good game. Ethan with level select on this 4F seed. Set up for 12 start. players are ready. Let's kick game number 2 off in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All players are off. Brian ahead by Ethan ahead by push on points. Ethan getting Tetris number 1. Ethan, another Tetris up to 49. Brian, 2 quick lumbars. 3 actually. We'll get them set up for Tetris. Up to 31. Ethan currently sitting at 51. Really good piece sequence here by Ethan, but unfortunately covering up the well, having to fill it in. Brian at Tetris, real-time points lead here of 63 over 53. Ethan here, not getting the pieces needed. Good adjustment there. As the well open, able to get the lumbar over, goes to 74. Brian up to 80 right now. Ethan, though, slamming another quick Tetris. Ethan, set up here, but needs to fill out the left. Overshift of an eye dependency. Brian, sitting at 96, is good for game number 2. Ethan, something fell in the room. That happened to me during comp yesterday. Someone just showed up at my door, and I had to make the decision of, do I let this strange person in, or do I just keep playing Tetris? And I decided to keep playing Tetris. But Brian with level pick. It's always during comp, I don't know why. Brian going 12 again. Thank you, Ethan. Both players ready. Let's kick off game 3 here. If I can count 3. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Both players off. TZI the opener. Ethan, the first to be set up, and the first to slam the Tetris. Quickly set up for a second. Brian set up now with that square. Ethan, Tetris number 2. Brian, just now scoring Tetris number 1. Ethan plugging in a Mino hold instead of going straight for the Tetris. Interesting choice. Knocking down 2 Tetrises. Was sitting at 66660. Haha, nice. I forget who it was, but someone mentioned in a stream a couple weeks ago at this point how there's like a difference in when people decide to go, like how they fill in an eye dependency, whether it's like if you have both an eye dependency and your Tetris ready, which one do you go for first? And they found that I think older, more experienced players will fill in the eye dependency first, whereas newer players will fill in get the Tetris first. So, I don't know, just food for thought. Brian's sitting 79 right now. Ethan double long bar dependent on the left at 101. Gets one of them filled in nicely. We'll fill in the other one for a triple. Brian set up for a Tetris, waiting patiently on a long bar and is rewarded. Goes to 110. Ethan 107. Bit of an awkward board setup. We'll take a split double. Brian another Tetris up to 125. Ethan able to get a lumbar over to the right, but is only good for singles and doubles. Set up for a Tetris here though. Needing a lumbar and needing it now. Not sending things over to the right. Lumbar still not coming for Ethan here. No! No! Ethan topping at 120 right as the lumbar comes for the dirty Tetris. Brian at 142 is good for game number 3. Ethan, take your time. You are good. Hit B at the wrong time. Brian, feel free to play this out if you'd like. Okay, you would not like to. Brian knocking on the door of taking a split set against Ethan. Yeah, Ethan is scary good. What did I play against and get against Ethan? Somehow or another, yeah, 2 days ago when Ethan and I played, I was able to squeak out a match against them. I don't know how. They were, at this point, the only set that I have won, second set that I have won against them. They went on to handily beat me 3-0 in the second set. How am I doing in the new beginner div? Let me check. I need to make sure that Sky reported our match. I am currently 4-10, 4 matches played out of 10. I have lost all the matches, but I have 4 games won. So 4-12 in that regard. There is a new new roller in the beginner 21 div named Ian Wright, who is scary good. Has played 25 games so far and has won 17 of them. So they're a force to be reckoned with. They're probably going to be bumped up to bronze sometime soon. So heads up for them. Alright, Ethan back. Ethan ready on the first. Wait, are y'all the first to break in bronze? Oh yeah, the first to bronze 33. Nice. Ethan ready on 12. Let me give Brian's stream a refresh. Cool. Alright, both players ready. Let's kick game number 4 off here in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Both players off. I'm really glad I discovered the magic of hotkeys for OBS, because now I no longer have to fiddle around with muting my mic whenever I have a massive sneezing fit like I just had. Ethan set up for an early dirty Tetris, the first one of the game being dirty. That's how we do it around here. Brian set up clean, needing a long bar. Gets it, and we'll get the first Tetris on their side. Ethan, a long bar getting their board resolved, getting a Tetris going up to 37. Brian, Tetris of their own up to 32. Brian needed this game to split sets with Ethan. Ethan trying to take this to another decider round. Brian, another Tetris up to 48. Ethan needing a square or something to get Tetris ready. Uncovering the wall, but having to set up on top of it. Some awkward setups here. 44 for Ethan, 65 for Brian. Ethan, dirty Tetris up to 65, Brian 66 right now. You know what I'm thinking, and call me crazy for this, but what if they had a version of Tetris, like comp Tetris, that was like golf, where you just had to get the most lines, but scores didn't matter. All that mattered was getting lines. I don't know, call me crazy, but I think I'm onto something there. Ethan, some good tucks. Good triple to open up the bottom. Brian, Tetris over at 114. Ethan trying to get the stack set back up. Try saying that 5 times fast. As Ethan gets the Tetris, goes to 91. Brian up to 115 here. Brian doing a good job of maintaining the stack. Both players knocking down Tetrises. Brian just happens to be set up enough to knock down another on top of that. Brian, piece not coming for the right. Right when the piece for the right comes, has to shift the parity. Ethan a long bar, goes to 155. Brian a long bar, goes to 169. Brian still some 15 lines in time behind Ethan. Brian enjoying another comfy pace lead here as Ethan turning on the jets, going for pushdown points, trying to progress through the levels faster than Brian, which I'm not sure. I don't see the benefit in going for pushdown. I'm sure there is a benefit that could be construed from it. I'm just too goofy to understand it. Although Ethan, a very good column 8 setup, and bank attaches off of it. Ethan currently sitting 221, Brian 185 right now. Ethan, one line away from going to the first of the speed transitions. Brian set up high, having weight over the well right now, trying to uncover it as the lumbar still not coming. Gets it uncovered as the lumbar comes. Ethan, a misplacement there of a Z. Perhaps got a bit ambitious. Brian having to cover holes in the well, but able to bank 2 Tetrises before going to work on uncovering them. Ethan coasting along on 14 right now. Brian still 15 lines until this first of the speed transitions. Still enjoying a pace lead over Ethan. Mino shy of being set up from a center wall Tetris. Decides to burn it away and transfer the ball back over to the right. Ethan 303 now. About to hit 18 speeds. Ethan setup goes to 18 speeds at 324. 80k or so the difference here between these two. Ethan though 30 lines away from transition. Knocking down a Tetris. Brian knocking down another Tetris, over to 15 speeds at 263. Ethan's board on 17 colors, board a little bit harder to see. TMP's version of charcoal, and Ethan will top at 350. Brian, you need 350. Banging a Tetris, goes to 281, 70k the difference here. Brian, another Tetris, still 20 lines until this next speed transition. Set up for a Tetris. Gets a lumbar. Up to 322. One more, maybe 2 more Tetrises should do it. Maybe a Tetris and a double, I think will do it. Still Amino shy from being set up. Gets set up right as the lumbar comes. On to 18 speeds at 346, needs 350. Needs something over to the right. Waited for another lumbar, but it's set up again. 352 that will do it. 352. Brian is good for game number 4. We'll take the second set in this pair up. Very well done, completing the chase down. Sets were indeed traded. Brian, feel free to run this out if you want to. Currently sitting at 406. Needs about 140 for a PB. It's on a similar pace to a game before. Brian transitioning 433. Brian hanging on here. On to level 20. $70K until PB. Or sorry, 90K till PB. I can do math. Knocks out Tetris. Couple misshifts. Is still alive, but has some more mischiefs up high, and we'll top at 485. Very well played, though. GG's to both players. Let me quickly report this. This is for bronze 33. Defeating Brian 3-2. Happened at 1930 in the same quad. Ethan 3-2. Okay. Then Brian defeated Ethan 3-1. Brian at 45. Nice. All right. Nice. Okay. What time did I say that my show was over? Because I really might just end this early. I said until 5. No one's really wanting to play. No one's really playing Tetris right now. Oh, is Kiridev need a streamer? Oh, no. Okay, cool. Not a problem, Ethan. Not a problem. I'm glad. Thank you for the compliment. Please. I can't compare to Sky by any measure, but I'll take second. Yeah, shout out to Stream Safe for the lo-fi music. All good, all good. I don't know what puns can be made about Ethan. Or Brian. Maybe I'm just unoriginal. Any rate, I got brain a lot. Yeah, okay, I can see that. let's actually start next time. Let's commit to starting at 16. Or do I want to start at 17? Alright, I think I'm gonna make the executive decision to call it for this super show. Mainly because I'm tired. So with that, I'm gonna get off of here a couple hours early. So I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see y'all later.